or go off camera. Perfect. Thank you so much. That's lovely. So as I say, good evening. Just to let you know who we are. So it's a dark moon ritual, as you know, and the reason that we're doing it, we're training or trained as priests and priestesses of Cerridwen, who is a Welsh goddess. And we call her the Dark Mother. So we do the ceremonies at the dark moon. Now, dark not as in bad, but dark as in that beautiful primordial life-giving dark. So we're looking at the darkness of the womb, the darkness of the earth with the seeds that germinate, because she is the goddess of inspiration. And a lot of the offerings tonight come from inspiration that Cerridwen has given us. And this evening, the subject is going to be Mother Earth. Now, when you think of the word earth, you might think of soil in your back garden, or perhaps you think of the planet Earth. And there's an awful lot going on with planet Earth at the minute, isn't there? With wildfires, with floods. And sometimes we can feel really helpless. But when you get that helpless feeling, go back to the first one, the earth in your back garden, the earth of where you live, because there are little things that we can all do, which if we all did them, would add up to big things. So it's things like growing little bits in your back garden. You might grow herbs or even in plant pots if you don't have a garden. It's things like going out with a litter picker and a bin bag and picking up some litter. If we all do a little bit, it all adds up to a lot. It could be planting something like buddleia that the bees love, or lavender, which attract the bees too, or even making a little den for hedgehogs or for insects. However you feel you want to protect this beautiful Mother Earth. And we have a wonderful lady about to talk for us shortly about how else we can protect Mother Earth. And I must admit, I'm a bit in awe of her. But we're going to start off tonight with a beautiful ceremony. But what I'm going to do is just ask the priestesses to introduce themselves, who will be holding this beautiful space for us tonight. So Flora, before we start, would you just introduce yourself?
Hi, good evening. My name's Priestess Flora. I'm a priestess of Cerridwen, and I live in the northwest of the UK.
Thanks, Flora. And then if we go to Susie.
Hi, good evening to everybody. I am a sister of Cerridwen. I've been on 2 years spiral, and I am hoping to be a priestess initiating in just about a month. I live in the northwest of the UK.
And then over to Edwina. I think Edwina might possibly be on mute. Edwina, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sorry, I just disappeared for a minute there. So yeah, I'm Edwina. I'm just about to initiate as priestess of Cerridwen. I'm a medical herbalist. I've got background of being an anti-fracker, an activist, which is what I'm going to talk to you about later. I live in the northwest of England, in Lancashire, near Manchester, and I'm really pleased to be here tonight.
Thank you. And then over to Kimmy.
Hi, I'm Priestess Kim. I've been a priestess for a year, and I am I live in the northwest of England.
Fab, thanks, Kim. And then over to Willow.
Hello, I'm Willow. I'm a sister of Cerridwen, hoping to initiate in October, which is really exciting. And I'm based in the northwest of England as well.
Fab. And over to Rose.
Hello, I am Rose. I am from Austria. I'm at the moment I'm in the training, and soon my initiation is as priestess of Cerridwen. And yeah, I'm very excited about this. Thank you.
Excellent. And we go to Tina.
Hi, hello. I'm Tina. I'm hail from Wales. And I'll be dedicating as a sister of Cerridwen in about a month's time, which I'm super excited about. I'm going up to Bala. It'll be wonderful. And I'm really happy to be here.
And then finally, Donna will introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Donna. I am in the second spiral, priestess of Cerridwen, and I will be initiating in September. And I am from South Central Pennsylvania in the United States.
Yay. Thank you, ladies. So these are the beautiful sisters, and we call it other sisters because we do get a real heart connection. I'm Karen. I live in the northwest of England and about to initiate as a full priestess in a couple of weeks' time. For anybody who is interested about working with the goddess Cerridwen, there is a course about to start with our beautiful tutor, Bee. And the sorts of things that we learn are how to work with the gifts of Mother Earth. So we work with herbs, we work with crystals, we work with trees. And being a dark mother, we work with people at the dark times of their life. And that can be illness, that could be dying, looking after the people, caring for the dying. And some of us train as death priestesses. We also do rites of passage such as hand fastings, baby namings. So we support people through life. If that calls to you, perhaps at the end of tonight, put your name in the comments and we'll make sure we send out the details of the course. And we have priests as well as priestesses, but it is an absolute sisterhood, brotherhood, kinhood. There must be a word for it. Right, with no more ado, let's weave some beautiful magic for a dark mother. So Flora, can I pass over to you to start off with the grounding and centering?
Certainly. Hello. If you'd like to just get comfortable where you are to start with, if you're in a chair, uncross any arms and legs, make sure your feet are flat on the floor. If you lay down, then just keep your spine in contact with bed, couch, whatever it is that you're lying on, floor, ground. Anyway, now I'm going to invite you to either close your eyes or cast your gaze towards the floor. Bringing your attention to the heart center, in the center of the chest. And the rise and fall of the chest with your natural breath. Feel your breath flowing in and out of the heart center. On the next exhale, send the breath down through the body, down the central channel. With every exhale, sending the breath deeper and deeper down along the legs and through the feet. If you have any imagery that you like to use doing this, then please I invite you to use that. Flowing with the breath. Maybe a silver thread. Maybe seeing roots growing out from your feet. Continuing, sending each exhale down through the body, connecting with the earth, growing deeper and deeper. Mixing and mingling with the breath and the roots from all those who are here tonight. Mixing and mingling with the roots of the trees or the plants and the grasses. Each breath taking you deeper and deeper down to connect with Mother Earth. Past the rocks and the crystals, volcanic molten rock, right down deep into the heart of Mother Earth. And feeling now for a change in the breath. As you feel that breath wanting to pull up through from the earth, so that what was an out breath now feels like it's going to be an in breath. And with every in breath, you are drawing energy up, back through those roots into the heart center. Allowing those breaths just to sit and find their space in the heart center. And then on the next out breath, sending that breath, this time upwards. Again, using any imagery that you like to use that's familiar to you. Every out breath, see it flowing higher and higher out through your crown, reaching out through the roof, getting higher and higher through the atmosphere, passing the clouds, breaking through the atmosphere, the breath, the thread, whatever imagery you are using, reaching out deep into space, getting deeper and deeper, drawing the breath up from the earth and sending it out into space to connect beyond the solar system. It will know where it needs to go. It finds its own route, automatically connecting you with your star, with your mother star. And as you feel that connection, feel the change in the breath again, and this time you feel that in-breath drawing up through the earth and down from that star connection. So you're bringing the breath into the body from two directions, back into the heart center, letting both breaths mix and mingle in the heart center and sending them out through the body, out into every single cell of the body, to the furthermost reaches of your skin, every single cell coated, connected to Mother Earth and your star. Feeling that energy, feeling yourself grounded, feeling yourself in the moment, releasing that imagery, returning to the natural breath in the body. And when you're ready, bring yourself back and opening your eyes. I'm just checking I've got everybody back with me here before I move on. Yep, it would appear to be so. Yep. Okay, passing on. That should be.
And so now I ask you, in your mind's eye, to turn with me to the west. Croeso, Cerridwen of earth. Your many layers of wisdom unfold beneath us. With our ancestral bones and your crystal caverns, you offer us safety and security, grounding and balancing in our lives. You give us a place you call home, providing us with everything we need to live a fulfilled life. You remind us of your great power as a consequence of the turmoil we create and are creating within. Guide us so that we share this life in harmony with all your living animals, creatures, no matter how big or small. We breathe your energy in with gratitude. Hail and welcome, Cerridwen of earth.
Hail and welcome, Cerridwen of earth.
In your
Blessed be.
mind's, blessed be. In your mind's eye, please turn with me to the north. Cerridwen, croeso, Cerridwen of air, Mama Zabroliath. You are Lady of Wisdom. You fly high like a hawk on the air, seeing all below you, knowing all. You see between the spaces, you know what is in our hearts. You can see into the past and you can see into the future with clarity and with wisdom. As we move into autumn, you represent death as well as life. You represent rebirth and that space at the point between death and rebirth that takes us between the worlds into the all-knowing and all-wisdom. You are the oracle and the seer. In your love, help us to see with clarity and vision. Help us to see the truth at all times. To walk with wisdom and inspiration. Cerridwen, you are most beloved, and we breathe your and we bring you in and welcome you in with gratitude and love. Welcome, Cerridwen. We breathe your energy in to our bodies and take it to the centre. Hail and welcome, Cerridwen of air. You are most blessed. Blessed
Hail and
be.
welcome, Cerridwen of air.
Blessed be.
Croeso, Cerridwen of fire, of the east. You have brought the rebirth, the removal of what is old and not working within the earth, and to bring back what we need to strip back. In this autumn, leaves all burning bright, showing all what we're meant to see and be truthful to. Cerridwen, bringing all the sparks, the inspiration, the spark of passion that the fire can bring. And may that hold your heart true and deep. We breathe your energy in. Hail and welcome, Cerridwen of fire.
Hail and welcome, Cerridwen of fire.
Blessed be.
In your mind's eye, please turn with me to the south. Croeso, Cerridwen of water. It is in the primordial waters of your womb that we are born. And from this space, we melt into your love that is as effortless as the rivers that flow, your mystery as vast as the wide oceans, your magic as powerful as the waterfalls. You are contained within all life and take on many, many, many forms, and you invite us to shapeshift ourselves. Cerridwen, may we be your sacred vessels for your waters of wisdom to flow through us and out into the world. May our tears of grief and joy, of sadness and hope, of love and awe for all that you are, cleanse us from within and pour out into the world. May the waters within us flow from you and purify those who need it. May your love allow all rivers, all waters to run clear, for all trees, all plant life to soak up your wisdom, your mystery, your love. And may the rains that fall down onto this earth bless us endlessly. Cerridwen of water, we breathe your beautiful energy in with gratitude. And we bring you into our centre. Hail and welcome, Cerridwen of water.
Hail and welcome, Cerridwen of water.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. In your mind's eye, please turn with me into the center. Goiso, Cerridwen of center. You are a goddess of magic, of mystery. Thank you that you show us how we can dive deeply into your mystery and magic, into our mystery and magic. You show us the way through the labyrinth into our center. You show us how we can be centered and in the same time on other places. Thank you that you bring us like a snake every time into new things, renewable, in a renewable energy. So may we be really good in our centers to help others and to be with ourselves and with you. We breathe your energy in with gratitude into the center. Hail and welcome, Cerridwen of center.
And welcome, Cerridwen of center.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Thank you for that beautiful calling in, sisters. And as the Druids would say, every presence here is a blessing. We're now going to go over to our offerings, knowing that now this is sacred time. This is sacred space.
Thank you, Karen. About this time, 10 years ago, I was called by Goddess to protect the land. I am an ordinary person, and up until then, I'd signed lots of petitions. I could probably do 10 in a very short space of time. And I thought that would suffice in making a difference. But I heard via my local pagan group that fracking was coming to town, and probably to about 8 miles from where I lived, which is Salford, next to Manchester. And I felt the call to go, not having a clue what I was going to let myself in for. I read about fracking, and it absolutely terrified me about what was going to happen to the land and the water and the earth. And being a herbalist, that protection of the earth was very important to me, knowing that that was part of my sacred relationship. So I went down and taking a big pan of vegan stew to feed people with. And I'd never been to a protest site before. I had no idea what went on. And this is a picture here of Barton Moss. So what you have here is the flat mosslands of Salford, which are quite next to the motorway in this lane. And right at the side of the lane, I found all these tents of people living outside in all weathers. And this was the winter time. or move into the winter time. So I took some herbs as well. And I must admit, I was a little bit nervous. And I honestly thought that all people did was just wave banners as the trucks went past, sort of with the water and everything that was needed for fracking. And I hadn't a clue what people were actually doing. So if you don't know what fracking is fracking is where they actually drill deep into the earth, deep down past the aquifers. They set off, this is very basically, they set off explosions, pump water in, take gas out, and actually take out the water, which is quite often contaminated with chemicals and sometimes radioactive material, and then it's there to be disposed of however you see fit. And of course, people had read about this and had realised that it was not something that should be happening anywhere. We knew what was happening in America and in Australia and different parts of the world. And we really knew that in a small island that this would do a lot of damage. So going down there, I was quite surprised to see people walking the trucks in and out down the lane as they went to the fracking site. And this is, you know, part of that. But if we go back to where the police were, that also on the sites was Greater Manchester Police, which were there to stop people. So I found myself pretty quickly finding myself actually walking an anti-fracking front line, feeling very, very nervous. And we were sort of slowing the trucks down, and so to generally make it very difficult for them to get on site. And we were walking the trucks in and out of the site, and behind us was police, and a lot of police. And I remember that first time that we walked up that lane, and I was with another goddess-loving woman. We'd never done anything like this in our lives before, absolutely shaking. We turned to face the police and sung to the goddess. We didn't know what else to do. We expected to be arrested, but weren't. I think the police had never really heard of the goddess, but by the end of quite a long walk in, they knew jolly well who she was, and we sung some really nice songs. So we were doing this twice a day, and it took quite a lot of commitment, and we were often quite terrified. People were living outside, and this went through the winter, and it was a really harsh winter on the flatlands of Salford. There was it was very cold, it was very, very windy, the temperature seemed to drop quite low, and people were actually living in tents, sleeping on the land. And there was a lot of conflict with the police, a lot of arrests. There was about 231 arrests in 4 months, and soon realised that people were getting very, very sick. And being a herbalist, I wondered how I could best help. And that way of best helping was actually to sort of connect with other herbalists and to open a herbal clinic, which we did. And within about 8 hours, we'd had funding from Lush. I'd had 4 herbalists, and we set up a clinic in a tent with a wood stove, and whatever herbs that any herbalist around the country could actually donate to us. And people just came to us. And in that first time that we opened a clinic there, in this tent, it was just about one person after the other. We saw a lot of people. We dispensed a lot of medicines. We had a New York Times reporter. We had dogs. We had children. It was one of the busiest, most chaotic clinics that I've ever been in. And this carried on twice a week, right through the winter. We made cough medicines for people, fire cider vinegar. This is a photograph of one of the early spring clinics we did, which was out on the land with sofas. We took our herbs out, and we did what we could to support people who were quite often ordinary people doing this the first time, that were often quite sick, putting the bodies in the way to protect the land from fracking. They actually didn't do the frack at Barton Moss. We said no loudly enough that it never came back, but there were other sites around the country. And so from Barton Moss, which was a 6-month campaign, we moved on to Davyhulme, which was not far from here. And this was one of the most contaminated pieces of land I've ever seen in my whole life, from pollution, but people were prepared to sleep on this land to protect it from fracking. There was also other camps in Chester and in Hull, which is in Yorkshire, and people were out there living on the land, directly on the land, to protect it, and quite often being arrested, and quite often quite burnt out and in conflict. So we supported these camps for about 7 years, going up to Preston New Road. During this time, we had a caravan, we had herbalists that came and went, but we kept consistent support, doing front line, first aid, because sometimes, you know, encounters could be quite violent and people ended up injured. So running clinics wherever we could, and sometimes running those clinics was actually just holding space for people who were quite anxious, suffered from anxiety, the problems of stress, burnout, and just sometimes wanted somebody to talk to. We did first moon rites, we did lots of ritual on the land, and generally gave an awful lot of support until the end of 2019, when they declared a moratorium on fracking. So this was about 7 years as a frontline activist, working in a way that I felt I could give my best support. One of the things that I learned during this time was how, when ordinary people come together, that we can make a difference. And that not everybody wanted to risk arrest or to put the bodies in the way. But there was lots of other roles, lots of other things that people did, from making food to opening the home so people could have showers, to doing to being keyboard warriors, from doing petitions, from lobbying MPs, to keeping an eye on planning permission all over the country. So there was this body of people, this tribe of people that were using their skills in so many different ways to actually stop something happening. And when we think back at what we did, it was only a relatively small group of people that worked together with no leaders. And we did eventually get more organisation, but we're working quite autonomously, but together, using every skill that they had into supporting the stopping of this. It was a really powerful time. It was a really powerful time in building community and really drawing on my own resources in not only running the clinic, but also being there to support people on lock-ons and to put my own body in the way sometimes when it felt right to do that. And I learned an awful lot during this time about, you know, activism. And since 2019, I have done lots of other things, but never really done any of the frontline activism that I was required to do for 7 years, because nothing quite took my heart in the same way that I could commit to be getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and doing such intense work. So from my own experiences of activism into protecting Mother Earth, what can we do? What can we do? And sometimes it can be very difficult for people to get involved in something so immense and so intense as a big campaign like anti-fracking. But there is lots of Action Rebellion or you know, other organisations where there are leaders and they get involved with things. I think the big one that's coming up at the moment is the protection of Stonehenge from having a road underneath it, which will destroy a lot of that environment. And a lot of pagans and druids are feeling as though this is and other people as well, archaeologists, are feeling as though this is a real threat to our sacred environment. And to some people, it might not be that threat that fracking was, but once we see that sacredness of what we hold dear destroyed, you know, where next? So local campaigns, I mean, I'm thinking personally, some of the local campaigns that go on in our own towns are a lot easier to become involved with. The one that is local to me at the moment is Bury Folk Keep It Green, where we're trying to protect our green belts from 12,000 houses and, you know, all these sort of, you know, general destruction of, you know, the brown hare and the deer and the lapwings, and this beautiful area which should be seen as a country park that is not. So, you know, so sometimes it is easier to look at local campaigns, to get involved with people. There is always working together, which is very important. And sometimes we can feel as though things are too big for us. And sometimes they are if we did them alone, but we don't have to do things alone. We do things with others. And when I look at, you know, my local campaign, you know, it's driven by a love of the land, by local people that are going to council meetings, and that sometimes are even doing things like raising awareness and picking up litter.
Edwina, so what can we do? Is there anything little that we can do as you come to a close?
Yes, there is. There are three types of activism. So in those three types of activism, there are those which say stop. And sometimes we need to stop things before, you know, because they need stopping, like fracking or destruction of beautiful places. The other type of activism that there is a positive activism, where we're actually putting things in place, where we're growing things. And this is sometimes quite a lot easier to do and not always seen as activism. So guerrilla gardening, these are some herb troughs I've planted in my local country park to engage people with local environment. Because when we start to do things like this, I always think when we reconnect people to our sacred earth and the environment around them, then we make moves for them to protect it. Because how can people protect if they don't see the value in what we do? So things that we can do, you know, look at our environment. Can we get together with the people with forest gardens? Can we litter pick? Can we campaign? Can we educate? Can we grow things? How can we make our local environment a place that people want to connect to? One of the things I do is that when I'm gathering down my herbs down the lane, is I take people on mini herb walks and teach them about the environment that they live in and how precious that is. So those are the little things that we can do. And sometimes that is something that's quite personal, and sometimes things that we can do with others. A third form of activism is ritual and ceremony on the land. And especially when we go to places that have been damaged or that need healing, or that have power in them, like places of protest where there's been violence and conflict. That power, that conflict is still there in the land. So how can we turn that into healing? And some of the rituals I've been involved with at the anti-fracking protest sites have been especially powerful because there has been conflict there, and how we can work with that energy. So what can we do on a local level to protect the land? Engaging with the land in a ceremonial way, showing gratitude, doing ceremony, going to those places that have been damaged, the polluted rivers, the coal mines where I live and where the ex-factories, you know, the places where there's been poisons put on the land, where there's been conflict, where there's been battle even, you know, which is quite true of where I live. How can we make peace with the land? How can we heal it? By showing gratitude, doing ritual, showing love, is a really powerful way of actually bringing that energy back up from the ground where it's dormant and back into the land that we live in, and working with Mother Earth for protection, because we are the earth and she is a powerful protector. And when
that's incredible, Edwina. Yeah. We are in absolute awe of everything you've done. And on behalf of us, at least, I think, thank you so much. And thank you for giving us inspiration that we're not completely helpless. There are things that we can do. If we want to reach out to you, could you share your email address, or are you not comfortable to do that?
I'm quite happy with that. I'm happy. Okay. So yeah, it has been an absolute whistle stop, this. And it is just from my own experiences. you know, over sort of many years.
Bless you.
Because there is that powerlessness, you are right, Karen, and it's how we can do things that we feel can make a difference. And sometimes it can be the little things, and sometimes it can be working with others.
So if you would put in the chat now your email address, and now we're going to hand over to Elena, because when we feel hopeless as Cerridwen priestesses or just need a hug of our goddess, there is a certain prayer that we say, which is beautiful. And our sister Elena has said that she will share it with you tonight. So Elena, over to you, my lovely.
Thank you so much. So now join me with the Cerridwen's prayer. If you can stand up for following me with movements. Cerridwen, awaken your dark, bright spirit in me. Lady, open and expand my vision of unknown. Lady, be in my breath. My words and all my actions in service to you today. Lady, fill my heart with your love. Lady, heal my disease. Cerridwen, bless my cauldron of creativity. Bless my fertility of mind, body, and spirit. And ground me in your love. Cerridwen, awaken your dark, bright spirit in me. Lady, open and expand my vision of unknown. Lady, be in my breath. My words and all my actions in service to you today. Lady, fill my heart with your love. Lady, heal my disease. Cerridwen, bless my cauldron of creativity. Bless my fertility of mind, body, and spirit. And ground me in your love. Cerridwen, awaken your dark, bright spirit in me. Lady, open and expand my vision of unknown. Lady, be in my breath. My words and all my actions in service to you today. Lady, fill my heart with your love. Lady, heal my disease. Cerridwen, bless my cauldron of creativity. Bless my fertility of body and spirit. And ground me in your love.
Elena, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, my darling.
So much. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Now we're going to go over all the way to Australia for a video from one of our sisters, TJ. So Charlene, our beautiful tech Melissa, who's behind the scenes doing all the IT bit for us, is going to load the video now, which is all about trees from TJ and what beautiful ancestors our brother trees are and such wisdom they give us. And if you ever want to connect with the tree, just sit with your back to the tree, feel your roots growing down, and oh my goodness, you get the most wonderful hug from the tree. So Charlene, over to you for TJ's beautiful video. Thank you. I don't think we've got any sound on that one, Charlene. Just give us 1 second while we just get it set up. The joys of technology, it's always good, isn't it? And I don't know about you, but we do lots of Zoom calls where I work, and there's always a technical glitch. So I think this is the technical glitch. So while we're just waiting for this, you can probably think about your favorite tree and have that imaginary visualization of the tree behind you, perhaps sitting against it while TJ is about to show us her beautiful tree. Let's hope we can do this for you. Charlene, do you want us to go to Tina first with her song while you get the sound for this one, lovely? Would that be easier?
No, it's okay, I can get this. Give me 1 second.
Don't worry, it's fine. I think we've all been there with technology, haven't we? It's just, oh, it freaks me out when I have to do it, which is why Charles does it for us.
Can you hear it?
No. It's the IT gremlins.
Okay, so I'm going to get that sorted for you.
Okay, we'll move on to Tina then with the Earth song, if that's all right.
Sure.
Tina, my lovely. So Tina is actually a sister of Cerridwen. She's about to dedicate a sister, aren't you? And she wrote this incredible song. So we said, Tina, you have to share this to this wider audience. So just tell us a little about how you came up with the song before you sing it for us, would you please?
Yes, fine. What I find with since I've been doing the course with Cerridwen is that very often, if I was driving down to Glastonbury or coming back from Glastonbury, I'd get a download basically of a tune or a couple of lines of the song, and then I'd have to try and remember it till I get home. This occasion, I was actually out walking my dog.
It fits you both.
Right, where's...
Sorry. Oh. I can hear more than one person. I'm going mad. Okay. Yeah, so this time I was walking my pooch. I was nattering to her, as I tend to do. People in my neighborhood are well aware that I do this, so it's not too strange. And I was basically thinking, well, where are all the butterflies? It's when I was a kid, I could remember playing out in the garden. There'd be like 6, 7 different types of butterfly, and they'd all be flying around. And that was in the middle of a city. And I now live in a village, country village, and there was just nothing. And I was sort of saying to myself, doggo, you know, where are all the butterflies? And straight away, bang, in my head came, no, where are all my butterflies? And where are all my bees? And I thought, okay, so we're doing this then. And then it was just it came as a download as I'm trying to walk the dog and I'm trying to remember it in my brain. And then as soon as I got back into the house, then I was like, I'll try to record it quickly. Because my memory, which for some reason Cerridwen's picked somebody with a very bad memory, but it's not the best in the world. So yes, it was downloaded, and yeah, I'm hoping the vocal cords will behave themselves this evening, and I shall give you a rendition. So here we go. I've got it in front of me because, as I said, my memory is awful, and I will tend to forget things. Okay, then here we go. It's called "I Promise Her." Right. Where are all my butterflies, and where are all my bees? Meadows full of wildflowers, and forests full of trees. And I watch as a tear rolls from my lady's eye, and I promise her, we'll try. Listen to the silence where the songbirds used to sing. Empty are the hollow oaks where owls and bats took wing. And the oceans are full of plastic, and my lady asks me why. And I promise her, we'll try to heal this world, to heal this world, to heal this world. I promise her we'll try. I promise her we'll try. Skies grow dark with fire smoke and oil spills in the sea. The last white rhino walks alone and my lady looks at me. And the polar bears are starving as the seals all choke and die. And I promise her, we'll try. She beckons me to follow her into her sacred cave. She shows me in her cauldron the world she wants to save. And she holds me in her arms as I break down and cry. And I promise her, we'll try to heal this world, to heal this world, to heal this world. I promise her we'll try. I promise her we'll try. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Tina, I've got tears in my eyes. Thank you so much. That was beautiful, and how brave to sing, and what a gorgeous voice you've got. So thank you so much for that. Oh, love it. Got shivers. I've just noticed in the chat Sabine is joining our course soon. So she's going to join our kin. Welcome, Sabine. Can't wait to meet you in person. So we've had a few technical issues. I'm thinking what we might do is put TJ. Well, is she ready at the moment, Charles, or not? Oh, lovely tech, Charles.
I am going to try her one more time.
Okay, and if not, we'll go, I think, straight from that to Donna. Let's do that.
That fix it. Sorry, talking to myself.
That's all right. Let's have a go.
So this is my friend. This is a Moreton Bay fig.
Can you hear?
And
yes, we can.
Has a very strong connection with me. We share a lot of things. I talk to him all the time. And I say him because that's the way he identified himself to me when I first moved into this house. So I've been in this house for about a year and a bit. And the reason that I wanted to be in this house was this tree. As soon as I seen the fig tree, I was like, I need this house. And I came out on my first day of renting this house and hugged this tree and asked it to be my friend. And we've been friends ever since. So I just wanted to talk about connections with trees. But first, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Moreton Bay figs. So Moreton Bay figs are an Australian tree species, and they're very unique to the specific area that I live in, which is the Moreton Bay region. In Aboriginal tradition, so just as a warning to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, I will be talking about our old people. So if that may offend you, then please tune out now. So in Aboriginal tradition, fig trees were places of burials. So people would desiccate the bones, the remains of their ancestors, and then gather the bones and wrap them up and place them in hollows in fig trees. This one's only a baby. Normal fig trees have massive big roots that come out. You can see them starting to come out here. So fig trees have lots of hollows everywhere, and people would place the bones inside of the hollows, and the tree would grow over the remains, therefore incorporating the remains of our old people into the trees. And so they are spiritual beings, fig trees. They're very important. The bark also was used to make dilly bags and fishing nets. So it has a beautiful history of fig trees. So a lot of them are being destroyed now through development, which is really, really sad because they have a really deep spiritual connection to the land, and it's just sad. A lot of people don't like them because of their large, extensive root systems. They go very deep. In actual fact, where I live right now, there's a housing development that's going to go ahead probably in 6 to 12 months, and this fella's going, and we've had words about that, which is really sad. So anyway, getting back to the topic of connecting with trees. So I'm sure all of you know how to connect with trees, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about my connection with this fig tree. So right where I'm standing now is where I do a lot of my daily prayers to Cerridwen. So I find that really important that I stand here. I place one hand on the fig tree, and I tend to have one foot on the ground and one foot on the root. And I do my prayers to Cerridwen here. This tree is so full of bird life. There's so many birds in this tree. And over night time, it's full of bats, so flying foxes predominantly that fly over from Bribey Island, because this tree has berries and they love those berries. So this tree is a magnificent home to so much wildlife. There's a crow's nest up the top as well, and crows are one of my spirit animals, so very important. But one of the things that I really love about doing my morning prayers to Cerridwen here is the fact that I can connect with the tree and the land and the spirits of the place upon which I stand, while at the same time connecting with my goddess. And I love that. It is a liminal space right here with the fig tree and my connection. And I'm really sorry, my neighbours are very noisy. So I apologise for that. So this is where I stand to do my offerings. And this tree has seen me through so many hard times. I had COVID within the first couple of months of moving here over a year ago. And while I wasn't extremely unwell, I was unwell enough that I didn't feel too great. And I sat in a chair. My husband set up a chair for me on the other side of the tree and lit a fire, and I sat under the tree for days. I'd come out all day and just sit under the tree and ask for healing. And he listened. He would commune with me and help me heal. And I recently had a hysterectomy, and I spent a lot of time healing out here under the tree as well. So if I could ask my lovely friend to come and show some of the offerings my coven, we meet here quite frequently, and we give offerings to the fig tree all the time. So you'll see, as I was saying, about the... You want to come and show these, Chef? So as you'll see, we give offerings to the tree. We place all of our offerings in the tree, and the tree will eventually grow to incorporate these into its very being. And we have a beautiful offering space down here where we give offerings to the tree. I sit out here quite frequently, and whenever the offerings on my altar to Cerridwen get old, I bring them out here and I offer them to the tree. So we have lots of offerings, such as flowers. We have old flowers here that the tree takes the spirit of and looks after. There's more flowers attached to the tree. So how do you connect with the tree? When I was younger, I was taught that the best way to connect to a tree is to stand and put your hand on the tree, and you need to close your eyes. You breathe deeply. The same as you connect to a crystal, or you try to connect to the earth or your deity, it's in the breath, and you're reaching out your consciousness to the tree, asking it to connect with you. Trees are slow to communicate. They take time. So you need to sit with the tree for an extended period of time for it to fully connect with you. You can't just stand here for a minute and go, I don't feel anything, I don't hear anything, because their communication levels are a bit slower. They're not humans. This is what my mother taught me when I was younger. You need to give the tree time. It needs time to be able to transmit its communication to you. So give the tree time. Ask it, will it work with you? Will it be your friend? And just like your relationship with Cerridwen, it needs to be a daily, or at least weekly if you don't have time every day. But you need to build a relationship. You can't just expect it to help you, assist you, and be your friend if you're not willing to give it the time. So this is my friend. We're great friends. So that is my little spiel. I just wanted to share my friend, the fig, with you, and how fabulous the fig trees are, and just share a little bit of my sadness that we both know that its time here is not much longer. And I wish that I could do something to stop that and to save it, but unfortunately I can't. And unfortunately a lot of them are going now. Anyway, thank you, brothers and sisters. Blessed be.
TJ, that was awesome. I hope you're watching this back and feeling the love that we're sending you in a big hug. And that's really sad about your friend. But thank you for sharing that magic with us. Beautiful. So we're going to go actually to the USA now, live. We've got one of our amazing sisters in Pennsylvania, no less, who's called Donna. And the beauty of this course is that we get friends worldwide. We are so blessed. So Donna's actually going to show us how to make flower essences. And then after that, we're going to go to Stella, who I think is Netherlands. Somebody can put me right on that in the chat, for another video afterwards. And then we're going to close the evening. But Donna, over to you, my lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. I am an herbalist and a certified clinical aromatherapist, and I've made a lot of things. I've made a lot of tinctures and teas and salves and creams, but I never made flower essence. So this was my first experience with flower essences. And while you can use dried flowers for teas and tinctures, you must use fresh flowers for your herbal essences. And when I say fresh live flowers, I don't mean flowers from the grocery store or a greenhouse. They have been treated a lot of times with chemicals. So we don't want to use those. We also don't want to use flowers that grow by the roadside and, of course, not from a dog park. So you find where you would like to harvest your flower, and then you need to ask permission. And you need, if it's not on your land, you need to ask permission from the owner. But once you have that permission, you need to sit with the plant that you would like to harvest. Sit with them, connect your spirit, ask them if they would like to be used for medicine. And when you get your answer, then you can start your harvest. And I start with a crystal bowl. It can be glass, crystal, it can be ceramic. That's something to cut your flowers with. And then you're going to go up to the flower and cut them and allow them, first of all, in the bowl, water. Spring water, purified water, distilled water. This water was spring water that was infused with the moon, full moon. So you fill your crystal and then you cut your flowers, careful not to touch them and allow them to fall into your bowl. If for some reason you need to use two hands and set your bowl down, you can hold the flowers with tongs. These just happen to be a toast, to pull toast out of the toaster, but anything so that you don't touch the flower. And allow them to float on the top. And Charlene has a picture of my latest harvest, which she'll put up, because right now there are no flowers blooming. So if you could put that picture up, Charlene.
Coming.
Okay.
Bless her. I think she's doing three things at once. God love her. She does so good. What would we do without her? We'd be useless, wouldn't we?
So the flowers can cover the whole surface, or some people, depending on their intent, they may cut a specific number of flowers. If they're doing some kind of a spell, they may cut 9 flowers for something that they're doing. But the flowers will float on the top of the water. They don't need to be submerged. You just allow them to float on the top. You should cover your glass bowl with a clear plastic so that you don't get any debris in there. If you see my picture, I did not have plastic on the top. I had them sitting, my crystals sitting on a tabletop in the middle of my garden. It was not under a tree. I thought I was pretty safe not to get any debris in. But when I went to collect it, there was a little honeybee in there. So in that particular essence, I have a little bit of honeybee essence in with my flower. So we may not get a picture, but that's okay. So after you let your flowers sit in the sun for 3 to 4 hours in direct sunlight, or you can infuse your flowers by moonlight and use a full moon. And if you do that, they can stay longer, up to 12 hours, no more than that, and let the light infuse. And it would be nice if you could use flowers that bloom at night, such as night blooming jasmine or moonflower, angel's trumpet, queen of the night. Those are just a few, but it doesn't have to be. It can be any flower that you have chosen. So after you allow your flowers to be for the set amount of time in the sunlight, you would take the flowers out, and I would use these, and very carefully, I would take the flowers out one at a time. The flowers that you take out then should be offered back to the earth. So what I have in this bowl then is pure essence. And I take a container that has a mark on it. I was supposed to turn my camera here. Sorry. So this has some markings on it, and I use a coffee filter with unfiltered paper, and pour your essence in there, let it drain. And I actually filtered mine twice, but it depends if you've had any little bits of flower parts that you don't want in there. Then I'm going to just say that I have 100 cc's of flower essence in here. And to that, I add a preservative. Now you can use vinegar, apple cider vinegar. You can use brandy, which the Bach flowers are traditionally brandy, or you can use vodka. If you use vinegar, you have to keep your flower essence in the refrigerator. So I used vodka. So you put equal amounts in. So if I have 100 cc's of my flower essence in here, I put 100 cc's of vodka. I would then take a bottle, put a funnel there, and I would pour 50% flower essence, 50% alcohol. Cap it, and then label it. Very important. I have many jars sitting around the house that are unlabeled. Here's my flowers. So the darker one is rose willow bay, or fireweed, which is one of Cerridwen's flowers. And the other lighter pink one are mimosa flowers. Mimosa is a tree, and I harvested the flowers. They are very good for depression, heartbreak. They pair very well with rose petals. Thank you. You want to put the bottle picture up there? There we go. So when you label your bottle, make sure that you put the name. And if you know the botanical name, it's nice to put the botanical name. Then write flower essence, and that is your mother or your parent bottle. And then put the date and where it was harvested. Thank you. So then,
sorry.
After this is your parent bottle. Oh, I call it my mother bottle. So then you need to make a daughter bottle. And to make a daughter bottle, you take a pipette or a dropper of some type, and you take a dropper full and you put it in your empty bottle. And then again, you would add 50% water, 50% alcohol. And again, label it. And this one then would say, oh, this is another mother. It would say daughter bottle, but you put the same things in there. And then you need to make a dose bottle. And that would be the one that you would use for your everyday medicine. So your dose bottle then is smaller. And actually, when you order them online or buy them in the store, they're usually in little tiny bottles like this, which is 1/4 ounce. I didn't have any that small when I started, and so I used a 1 ounce bottle. So instead of 1 drop from my daughter bottle, I have 4 drops in here. So 4 drops. In fact, I'm going to do this. And you make sure everything is as clean as it can be, sterile if need be, but at least very, very clean. And so this is a 30 cc bottle. So I'm going to put 20 cc's of water. And 10 of vodka. Oops. Or about 3/4 water and 1/4 of the alcohol. And then I would again label this. And this is my dose bottle. And you would take 4 drops 4 times a day. You can take it internally. It has no taste. You would taste maybe the alcohol or the vinegar, but it has no taste. It has no smell. You can also put it on your pulse points. You can put it on if you're going to use acupuncture, you can put it where the needle is going to go in. You can put it in your creams, or you can make spray. And this is a spray that I made. And this is a dose bottle. So it's mostly water, a little bit of alcohol, and the essence. And this one happens to have crystals in. So if you spray it, it's not going to have any fragrance. If you want fragrance, which I do, you can add essential oil. So this one happens to be the mimosa flowers and then rose, because the two go good together. And then I use lavender essential oil, and you would put about 4 drops of lavender essential oil. And because this has alcohol in it, the essential oil will be dispersed. If you have just water, the alcohol or the oil would float on the top, but because the alcohol's in here, it'll be dispersed. And I have some clear crystals in here too. And then it will have a fragrance if you spray it around people. Oh, let's see. Did I tell you everything? Oh, you can also combine, like I did mimosa and rose. If you did that, you would not put mimosa and rose in the same bowl. You would do them separately, and then you would combine them. So that's the nitty-gritty, and they're very, very easy to make. You may not be able to make any more this year, depending on how many flowers you have in your garden, but you certainly can be on the lookout for spring. And then if you want to study more, you can make essences out of crystals too.
You are a star.
That's another subject.
Thank you so much. I've learned so much there. A sort of safety warning, I would imagine. First of all, make sure you know exactly what the flowers are. You might want to Google to check that they're not harmful. And to start off with, perhaps just use them for external use until you perhaps do a little bit of Googling and sort of finding out, or check with Donna if you're not sure.
You can't do any harm if they do bane. There are bane flowers that they use, and they do use poison plants. They're harmless. They're done right.
Done right is the thing. Yeah, stick to external until you've spoken to Donna to get all the extra. Thank you so much. I'm going to make some beautiful fragrance sprays next year. Donna, last quick question. Can we drink the rest of the vodka that we haven't put in the essences?
If you like vodka.
Wonderful. So the last thing we're going to do, then we're going to close the circle. It's a video that Stella sent through. I'm not sure where Stella lives. Does anybody know where Stella's from? I should have asked her, but she's somewhere in Europe. I can't remember. We will find out for you. But she sent a video of some caves. It's beautiful, but we did have problems with the sound. So you may have to turn the sound really loud to hear it, but we are going to show it because it's beautiful. So Charlotte, if you want to show the video, turn the volume up loud, but then please turn it down while we then close the circle and finish the evening. So let's go over to Stella's video now. And while we're watching it, I'll see if I can find out where she is based and let you all know.
Deep into the earth I know, deep into the earth I go, deep into the earth I know. Hold my hand, sister, hold my hand, hold my hand, sister. Hold my hand.
That was beautiful, Stella. Thank you so much. If you've turned it up loud, turn it down a little bit now. And we're going to finish the evening by closing the circle and saying thank you to all the sisters who helped us put this magic together. And of course, weaving the magic with you. It wouldn't be the same without everybody who was with us tonight. So we're going to just use the 4 directions to close. So if we go to Willow to unwind our circle, Willow, would you close the direction of water, please?
So standing in our mind's eye, facing the south, we thank Cerridwen of Water for being present with us on this beautiful dark moon ritual, for filling our eyes with tears of love and gratitude to this beautiful, beautiful earth and to the waters that flow through us. Thank you to Cerridwen for helping us to remember how powerful our emotions are and how we can use this energy to send healing out to the waters of the world and to the earth, to Mother Earth. So thank you, Cerridwen. Thank you. Farewell and bide well in your temple, Cerridwen of Water. Blessed be.
And Kim.
Thank you. I had to mute myself. If you turn to your mind's eye to the east, to thank you, Cerridwen of Fire. Thank you for igniting our passion, our spirit, igniting the freedom that to allow Mother Earth to continue in a way which she wants us to be able to move forward with, and without doing the damage that we have done. For showing us ways to help, from many different forms of activism to how to use what she has given us on this land, how we can create that extra fire, that extra spark in ourselves to make it so we can move forward as a community. Farewell and bide well in your temple, Cerridwen of Fire, and blessed be.
Please turn with me to the north in your mind's eye. Oh, Cerridwen, Mother of Air, Mam as a Broliath. Cerridwen, thank you for inspiring us with words of wisdom, with songs, with poetry, with that beauty that uplifts us to your heights, with wisdom and knowledge and love. Thank you for our breath. Thank you for our breath and songs. Feeling your gratitude right now and honouring you. May we move forward filled with your inspiration after this dark moon ritual tonight. Filling us with inspiration for our own activism, our own ways of protecting the earth in whatever way we can. Cerridwen, thank you for being with us tonight. Hail and farewell. May you bide well in your temple. Blessed be.
Cerridwen of Earth, you sit in the west. Thank you for tonight, for bringing together inspiration so that we may choose more wisely as we move forwards. We sit at a time when we can make a difference. We just have to take those few steps to start our pathways and our journeys. Thank you for the inspiration you have given us this evening taking us back to our ancestral roots, showing us how we can use everything you give us in our lives. We do not need more. You provide everything for us for that safety and security. We just need the reminders so that we can make this place a better world for everyone who lives here, whether we be animal, insect, fish, bird. Thank you for this evening's inspiration, O Cerridwen. May you touch the hearts of everyone who is here tonight. Cerridwen, farewell and bide well in your temple. Blessed be.
Thank you for that. Blessed be, sisters. And of course, as the little song goes, may the circle be open but never broken. May the love of the goddess be forever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. Thank you so much. If anybody would like to unmute and join us and say hello around our virtual little half tonight, you're very welcome. We have a Cerridwen song that goes, every step I take is a healing step. Every step I take is a sacred step. And may our footsteps be light upon the earth. And thank you for the reminder, sisters, tonight. So let people unmute if they'd like to. I hope everybody's enjoyed it, and blessings on your evening if you have to go. The next Dark Moon ritual is next month, about 4 weeks from now, but the notification of the actual date will be on our website. If you haven't found us, do. And as I say, our course starts in October if you're feeling the pull. So Charles, thank you so much for tonight. You've been an absolute star on the technical side of things. Bless her, she does so much for us. She's probably gone for a well-earned cup of tea now. Excellent.
Still here. Sorry, just fixing something.
Oh gosh, you don't stop working. God love you. You've been amazing tonight. Super. Gosh, we've had a good night tonight. We've been around Australia.